Hey traders, Nick here looking at oil. I recently did a video and this is a follow-up since a lot has happened since then. And I'm hearing experts in the media, give their opinion. It just bothers me because I don't think there's an expert out there unless you're sitting at the table of OPEC or in the Russian rooms or in the US pumpers. So turn off all the news and trade the chart. It has not failed me yet. I've been on record. You can look on Twitter and you'll see that my posts were almost spot on. I shorted it when everybody else said recently, and I lost for a couple of days, but it was a call spread at the money and it paid well. So is it time to press the short here? Not yet, and I'll show you why. So let's bring a scratch pad here. So this is a daily chart. I'm not going to get any smarter than this for now. Up here, I shorted a little bit below, so I took some heat because of this ledge. Turn off the news. I don't care what this is. It could be soybeans. I don't care what it is. It could be just widgets. This chart, the price patterns play out, especially now more so than ever because machines are trading and they're programmed to do A and B at X and Y, so it's just repetitive. So this is a ledge from which they fell apart completely. They took a long time to get back to it, and usually this is a bullish thing, but not immediately. What does that mean? So this is a neckline. It is an opportunity, but not right immediately. Chances are that this was going to fail because whoever was stuck right here wanted out. So the fact that it took so long builds a cup, right? And then the fact that they needed to build another side of it. So they need this dip, and they needed to go like this before they hit 66 to break out. Up here, when the experts were calling for 75 or whatever, look, I doubt it. I doubt it's going to go straight to 75 without pausing here. That's why I shorted. So what about here? Do I hit the short? If I'm short, this is where I definitely would book. I booked up here. So, but I wouldn't press. I wouldn't start shorts here because for the same reason that I just mentioned. I'm going to clean it up a little bit so we won't be completely messed up. Especially, here's yesterday's candle is a good trigger for bug out. If I'm long, I'll probably set an alert below yesterday's candle and say, hey, you know what? I have new lows here. I need to reconsider. But this whole zone where it's at was a second level pivot. So when they fell apart, they tried to hold, they fell, they stalled. You can argue for an inverse head and shoulder here, target-ish about here. So this is another eyeball pivot zone. So right here, because it's a ledge, I think it's support until it fails. And even if it fails, it's not the end of the world. So I don't start shorting here. If you're a bull for oil, I'm agnostic on it. You'd want to see this, and then there'll be R resistance here throughout this, and if they attack 66 again or this zone again, I wouldn't short it the second time because they already worked out their kinks. They came back to it. Whoever wanted out. The push down failed miserably, if assuming that this holds, because the first time they brought it down to here, the second time they couldn't even muster down to here, and that's how you talk through a cup and handle. Same logic for an inverse head and shoulder, and just ignore the first shoulder. It's the same concept. Attacking a neckline, the first time is going to fail. How deep it goes the second time, it takes them a second time to attack it, and how soon and how it will determine what's the odds of getting back to that neckline and bursting above it. So if you're starting to short oil here, I think odds are against you. If I was looking to get out of oil, I'll probably if I'm long and I'm deciding if I wanted to get out, so I'll set an alert somewhere around here saying, you know what, this is a new piece of information. Plus, oil is somewhat sensitive to the dollar, not as much recently, and I'm short the dollar and it's winning, and I'm hoping this candle, if this candle closes down here, this could mean that the dollar is going to retest this level here, which would be good for oil bounce. So it wouldn't be standing in the way of oil bounce. Now, headlines are aside, but I just shared my thoughts on this. By the way, was crude CL. You can probably play it through the USO, which looks about the same, and that's what I shorted actually. the charts usually don't lie, especially when we're not sure who's right or wrong. All right, Nick signing out. If you have any information, and if you need access to the chat room, email me. It'll be in the description below.